Apes, together, strong.
Where we going?
About go movies or not?
Do not take your kids to watch this movie.
I like magic.
What the fuck did we just watch?
Half of the fucking movie is about the Joker.
Huh?
But yeah, it's a decent movie.
Hey guys, Running Chain. So I just got out of watching War for the Planet of the Apes, the third installment in the new Apes trilogy, and I believe the 9th film in the release terms franchise of Planet of the Apes, if you count the Tim Burton one. But yeah, going into this film, I love the original films. Tim Burton one, but anyways. But then the recent ones from Rise to Dawn to this one, killing it. Excellent trilogy. However, this film puts it up in a different level where, as powerful as Dawn was from going with, well, granted, Rise was a great film. When Dawn came up, it took it to a whole nother level. War of the Planet of the Apes does take it to a whole nother level, but it takes it to another level, but it's difficult to say without spoiling this film that I've been hearing from a lot of reviewers and critics that you necessarily don't get what you think you're getting into when you're seeing the trailers. At least for me, I got some stuff that I wanted and I thought I was gonna get, and then I got more stuff and different stuff that I didn't think was gonna rock my head and be like, what the hell is going on? But yes, if you're wondering whether I like this film or not, I fucking love this film. So I'm not gonna try to spoil it, because this movie deserves people to go and watch it without knowing as little as possible, except at least knowing what has happened in the previous two films, which is Rise and Dawn of Planet of the Apes. So in this film, this is gonna sound weird of telling the story, is that apparently the military group that was contacted in the previous film, Dawn, that are coming from the north, have come down to search for Caesar, the leader of the apes. They encounter him at one point, as shown in the trailers, and they realize that he realizes they've been looking for him to bring him back to where the compound of this whole army, mini militia is. And there's this big battle. A lot of apes die, a lot of soldiers die. Caesar spares a couple of them, including a traitor ape who is now serving the humans. Caesar spares them and tells them that you found me, that don't come back, leave the woods to us. Go stay your side, stay our side. I don't want war. I didn't start this war. I fight just to protect my people, my apes. And that is all I'm going to say, because shit goes down in this film. To speak of the story and the plot is the best way possible, saying that morals, ideas are going to be tested, pushed, pulled, and revealed in this film from both sides, from the humans and the apes, and specifically Caesar. Spoilers for those who haven't seen Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. In the last film, there was a big inner conflict within the apes where basically Caesar's right-hand man, Kobach, turns on him because he thinks that they should dictate and destroy the humans, while Caesar's trying to show in compassion and equality and peace within both races. At the end of the film, Caesar battles Kobach and kills him, which is a big, something he regrets and torments him in this film, which I wasn't expecting. But yes, morality is going to be tested. The film does live up to the title, but go into it with an open mind, and instead of just seeing what I at least part of me was perceiving that big battles. There is battles in here, but there's more to it, to that title. At least in my opinion, more of the physical actions, but also the mental conflicts and wars, if you will, of Caesar and Woody Harrelson's character, the Colonel. But yes, I'm gonna fly out and just go. Let's start with just a nitpick that I would say is that the human side soldiers, a militia that belong to Woody Harrelson's character, the Colonel, At one point, the apes are in a difficult, unadvantaged situation, and where soldiers are keeping an eye on them, and they're in, I don't want to say clumsy, but stuff was able to go through, and even though you were rooting for the apes, stuff were able to go through easily, and at least might have been like, no one really spot that. But again, the argument could be said that these soldiers weren't fully prepared, trained soldiers. They were probably just people who used to be plumbers, engineers, doctors, or even guys who worked at McDonald's before the symbiote flu happened. So who knows? But that was a little peeve, but practically all positives in this film. Andy Serkis as Caesar. This might be controversial, but a lot of people think of Andy Serkis Gollum. Precious. I like Lord of the Rings, I like The Hobbit, but to what friends and my brother consider Lord of the Rings and consider Andy Serkis as Gollum, when I think of Andy Serkis, I think of Caesar. His performance as Caesar from Rise to now has been an amazing arc, a 3-film arc for at least one, a lot of characters, side characters, but this significant character in Caesar has been tremendous and mind-blowing. Not only does he go through hell and light stuff emotionally, physically, mentally, and ideology, which might mean the same thing, but you know what I mean. And I gotta say, also within the performance of Andy Serkis and the visual effects that the visual effects people brought in and made these apes look more realistic, which I was in my head, I'm like applauding for the VFX people, being like, you guys did an awesome job, great work, keep at it, because these apes look awesome and they rock, and I want to be an ape. And but yeah, Caesar, he made me cry a little bit in this film. Made me cheer, made me made me took my breath away with the lines between him and the Colonel, or him with his apes, or with the other fellow humans, and the way he interacted with every other character, because these films are centered around Caesar and the world he inhabited. It's about him. And but yes, Andy Serkis does a phenomenal job, and I know he's doing Supreme Leader Snoke in the next films. We'll see what happens by then. But I know people love Gollum. I like Gollum, but to me, Andy Serkis is Caesar, and as someone who dug the originals, I think Andy Serkis honors what Roddy McDowall and Kim Hunter brought into the standard, the level you had to meet to be an ape from the previous films, respectively as Cornelius and Zira. And also the side characters. I think the big point, for this film, apart from the simple plot or story, is the characters. Now, I talked about Caesar. Woody Harrelson as the Colonel. This guy was very intimidating in the way that I was like, there are scenes where apes are captured by his men, and they're in this they're treated as slaves, and he's not giving them food or water, and he's threatening to kill apes if they don't keep on working. And I felt the kid in me, or the man in me, was like ready to get in front of an ape and be like, shoot me, if you want to shoot anyone, shoot me. He was diabolical, and there was reason to why he was against against the apes. To go into why this reason is the spoiler territory, and you should. I won't spoil it, but try to avoid much spoilers so you can realize what he's been through, what he has done, which is, I was like, wow. And there, I mean, he has this great line, and I don't believe it was in the film, but it was in the trailer. It was like, sometimes it is best or like it is necessary to abandon our humanity to save humanity. That is a statement. And you're gonna get what he meant from that in this film, which was like, I think we could all agree that we mostly root for the apes in the franchise of Planet of the Apes. But at least for me, the humans' image or or how the humans are portrayed is sort of an example or like a warning sign, psychological warning sign, like us humanity must never go through this way. Not because the fear of apes taking over us, but just of losing our way of being compassionate, humble, instead of more dictative and more lethal, to appreciate everything around you, nature, individuals as well, which is really something that I've give kudos to the original franchise and the current franchise of Planet of the Apes. Steve Zahn as Bad Ape. I knew Steve Zahn was playing the character, and I knew very little of Bad Ape. I love Bad Ape. I love Bad Ape. The way he's presented to the film is in a very tense situation where you don't know what the hell's going to happen, but yet stuff calms down, and he's sort of the side relief, but in a good way to be a good friend. And even when at one point he meets Caesar and his comrades, his disciples, I guess, and he's so glad to meet him. He's like, friends, you're my friends, here's food, you are my friends, which is a very cool, sweet moment of Bad Ape. So Steve Zahn does a phenomenal job, and I'm glad to see him on the screen again, because I was a big fan of it since I was a kid. Karina Konoval as Maurice. I've loved Maurice since the first film, and at moments when Caesar goes maybe too dark in either the three films, Maurice has been there to be like, this isn't the way, like, think about this, think what's better for you, for all of us, don't let your emotions get out of the way, or think twice before you do stuff. He's the pal you want on your side. The pal you want on your side. And Karina does a phenomenal job. And the relationship that Maurice and the character that Amia Miller plays, which I'm not going to reveal because I kind of hated knowing about who she was playing prior to the film, but it's a cool thing to know, to realize who she plays in the film. So I won't say what character she plays, but Karina Konoval as Maurice kills it, and Amia Miller, again, I don't want to spoil it. Similar to what we got out of Daphne Keane as Laura and Logan, we got something that's got similar thing with Amia Miller and War for the Planet of the Apes. So kudos, and they have a cool connection. Terry Notary as Rocket. Him and I forgot the other character who was the big gorilla. They got some cool moments where you know deeply how much these apes care for, appreciate what Caesar's done for them. They've gone through hell together, and what they're willing to do for him and for the better state or better world or utopia of the apes. So Terry Notary as Rocket, cool job, and he has some cool moments in the film, which is towards the climax of the film, which I won't reveal. Ty Olsson plays Red Donkey, one of the antagonist apes who turned on Caesar and the apes and has become a servant to the humans. That ape is a mother, I won't say it, but ideology and physical tense will be noticed, and there's a reason why they call this film War for the Planet of the Apes. There's a reason why. Ty Olsson, phenomenal job. And Gabriel Chevalier, who plays Preacher, who's a soldier, one of the soldiers that at the beginning Caesar spares and brings the message to the colonel, and stuff happens. At one point, you realize how this ordinary soldier sees Caesar and the colonel he serves, and I kind of hated him in the film. Let's say that he acted good enough to me be like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, phenomenal cast who knocked it out of the ballpark. But yeah, this trilogy I think is on par with any other great trilogy, whether it be the original Star Wars trilogy of From A New Hope to Return of the Jedi, Back to the Future, The Dark Knight, Captain America, Lord of the Rings. At least in my opinion, I'm willing to put it up there. And this trilogy definitely gives a good battle between the originals and the new trilogy of the Apes. Which one's the best? It's my inner conflict. Like Caesar, I can't decide which one I like more, but a great addition to the Apes franchise, War for the Planet of the Apes. Gorgeous cinematography. Again, Matt Reeves used the same man he used for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and I think it was the same DP for Prisoner of Azkaban and Harry Potter. Matt Reeves, since Cloverfield, the way he took Dawn, and I mean, phenomenal director who knows how to set a tone for a film, pull you in to be a part of this world, connect with the characters, and kudos, Mr. Reeves, and he's doing Batman. He's handling Batman, and he said noir detective story, which is what I wanted out of a Batman film. One thing that I'll mention is this, that when for analyzing stuff or stuff like that in my head, the climate, at least in my opinion, reflected what was the mood and feel of the film at one point. One point, it's sunny. Beautiful land, sunny. At one point, or the majority point, rainy, overcast, cold, which explains the intensity of this film. And I liked how, I hope they used it. If not, I'm just taking this and be like, oh, I noticed when it's sunny, good stuff was happening. When it was a little bit more darker, shit wasn't going too good for either side. But I'll say that. And but yeah, I'll give this film a 9 out of 10. Is the best film of the new Apes franchise. And that's not to bring down Dawn or Rise. They're great films. It's just that this one took it to another level that I wasn't expecting. And someone give Andy Serkis a damn Oscar already, please. But yeah, that's gonna be my review for War for the Planet of the Apes. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, post it comment down below. Tell me what you thought about the film, or we agree with stuff, or we disagree. We could agree to disagree. And depending what's gonna happen next week, because I am traveling to Comic-Con, I know Dunkirk and Valorant is supposed to come out. Who knows if maybe my reviews for those films might be delayed. And not meanwhile, I might consider doing some reviews, a little quick, maybe 5-10 minute reviews for the original films. In case you guys might want to do it. Some good films I should revisit. And hopefully I get a chance to do it. Hopefully it works out. Take care.